Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, can you able to hear my voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, last class we have discussed about the started education and discussed about the different types of training what we are doing during the extension education as well as in the normal situation, right? So this is a continuation from that, and also this is a theory part, right? Almost every practical is finished. So we will continue with the domains of learning. So what is this domains of learning means? What are the boundary or what is the area of learning, right? What are the different things that constitute the total learning process? Here there are three type of domains, that is cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain, right? So cognitive domains, that means the learning part that is mostly involving with the thinking or understanding or knowing something, right? So roughly we can call it as knowledge, what sort of things we are knowing, right? So when we studying, we will know something, right? We will learn new things, new informations. Is a, if there is a thing regarding the training process, you are learning the things, right? There are three types of training process. What are those? And you are understanding the different three types of training. So that is a kind of cognitive domain. That means the knowledge gaining part of learning something, right? And the second part is affective domain. Affective domain is mainly dealing with the feelings, values, interest, emotions. So this is something different from the knowledge part. This is attitude. Attitude means you show some values. Values, you know, the respect or the importance and the interest. So when we are learning, some people will have interest on that. Some are just learning. And some emotions, you know, the emotions, happy, sad, cry, different emotions, right? So you show some emotions and some feelings. So these things are mostly related to the mind and the personal perspective of everybody, right? Sometimes when you are studying, you will connect the education or the learning process with your own feeling or own emotions, right? So that is about the affective domain. And psychomotor domain means that is the learning process including the bodily movement. So bodily movement means the skills. Your skills means if you are fluent in talking or if you are fluent in learning language or communication or typing something, fast typing. So those are the skills, right? You will be having some skills. So can you able to differentiate these three domains? One is a cognitive one that is related to your knowledge part, and the other one is affective domain that is related to your attitude, the feelings or emotions. And the third one is the psychomotor domain that is related to your skills, your skill part, right? So the constitutes it, the domains of learning constitute these three different and important domains, right? So then we talk about the informal learning process. So already we have talked about the three types of education process, right? So you know the formal, non-formal, and informal education. So the informal learning, that is mainly related to the learning that is happen away from a structured formal classroom, right? So this is not really happening in the classroom education like what you are studying in your lectures or what you are studying in your school. That is a properly structured and a formal education institution. And the environment is also providing the formal study environment. But here, that is not actually happening. No need to be a structured one. No need to be a formal classroom. You know, the formal classroom means you will be having some learning environment. You have some proper seating, equal view, blackboards or whiteboards or slides, whatever the media that like that. But here, that is not actually happening. So, in the informal learning, that comes in many forms. Sometimes you may be teaching through the videos, right? Sometimes it may be a self study. So, what does this self study means? You are going to study. Self study, you know, right? The person or the student who is going to be searched and who is going to be getting the materials or resources. So, if we take about the leaflet, we are providing to the people, right? We are administering some leaflet regarding our maybe our exhibition. So the people are the respondent. When you are providing the leaflet, they are the people going to be have a look on it, right? That is a kind of self. If they interested only, they will be go through with the leaflet and they will be not. Otherwise, they will not consider that one, right? So that is about the self study and reading articles. So everything mostly related to the self interest of the students or the respondents. Participating in forums and chat rooms. So again, this is also a kind of a learning process, the discussions. So the people will discuss with different kind of people from different sectors, or sometimes the same sector people, they will discuss. And the performance support, right? So they will support the what kind of activity oriented or the performance they did. And coaching sessions and games. So also they will, if there is a training program, certainly they will be having some fun games. And some coaching session means you will be undergoing with some practicing, or they will teach you the how to perform or how to perform well, like coaching sessions also happening in the informal learning. Style of learning in which the learner sets their own goals and objectives. Mainly, it depends on the particular person. Everyone set their own kind of learning. Some people prefer to study from some written learning material. Some are very much interested to learning from some people, right? They will understand when somebody explaining. Some they will be only learning from their colleagues or their friends, right? So it will differ from people to people, the understanding. Some people only understand when there is a practical way of learning. So from the practicals only, because understanding from the practical rather than from a theory class or classroom study is more effective, because you are learning from something that is actually happening. So you will be believing that one, and you will have it in your mind for a longer period than what you are reading. So that depends on the people and their own way of learning process. So what are the benefits of this informal learning is mainly that is a low stress. That means you don't need to be stressed like in a classroom education. There is no any deadline for you. You can learn anytime. right? And flows with the daily work. So you can continue your daily work with this learning process. But when you go for a formal education, you should commit some time for this education. Sometimes you may lose your work time because they will be having a certain time slot, maybe 8 to 4 or weekend, like that they will be having the formal time. So you should be punctual to the study center, and you should study and you should finish your coursework and some additional works, maybe assignments or some practical book writing, noting or project works like that you will be having in your formal education center. But in informal learning, you don't need to worry about the daily work. You can continue simultaneously your daily work as well as your learning activity because the time will be fixed according to that. If you are a farmer, you can continue your work up to lunchtime and you will be having the learning process during the off work time. Off work time means you have certain time for be in the field, maybe during the morning time and during the evening time. You can allocate your lunch time for learning process, so you can go with the daily work. The daily work is not going to be interrupted, right? And it is instinctive, that means people naturally learn in informal setting. They have been doing it their whole lives because this informal learning process is a lifelong study process. Actually, this is happening from the experiences and what is happening daily, right? And it encourages the curiosity. So the curiosity means the desire to learn, right? So this is encouraging the people to learn from the everyday activity. So these are the benefits of informal learning process. Then we can learn something about adult learning. This is one of the important thing. You can consider yourself as an adult and you can think about it. So usually when compared to your school education, when you consider university education, that is also we can consider as an adult learning. You can compare the learning process, what you did in the school and what you how you learned from university or after that. The learning process is not stopped by your university, that may be a bachelor's or master's or something. You will be learning sometimes in the office environment or in your workplace. So learning process is a lifelong one. It will happen, right, every time. So here the adult education or adult learning is an individual who passes the age of school attendance, who have assumed responsibility for the welfare of himself or herself, right? So after passing out the school attendance, there are, right, there are many situations that will make you for adult learning. An individual who is physically and mentally mature. So this is the adult, right? A person who is physically and mentally mature person is considered as an adult here. So you can consider yourself as adult, right? So again, here there are three categories: andragogy, pedagogy, and lifelong learning process. So andragogy means the art and science of helping adults learning. So the person who is going to be helping in the learning process is andragogy, right? So helping adult learning means you can consider myself as an andragogy because I'm helping you to study. I'm not actually teaching you, right? You should differentiate the teaching process as well as helping. So I am helping to learn to study regarding extension education. So that is the duty of ourselves. Actually, we are not teaching, but normally we try to teach because university system has changed, right? but the actual process is helping to yourself. You are the one who is going to interested on the subject, and you should search the thing and you should study. There is no any teaching here. We will be helping how to study, or from where you can get the sources and what are the course outlines, like that we can help you to study. You are the adult people and you should initiate to start studying, right? That is the andragogy process. And pedagogy, that is the art and science of teaching children. So this is actually happening in the school education, that is teaching to the children, right? The teacher will coming to each subject and they will teach the student, right, regarding the subject, because they don't know the basic things. But after school education, you know the basic about everything, right? So that is the pedagogy process. And final thing is the lifelong learning process, that is learning never ends. So you will learn from your birth to end, that is happening on your experience. So then we can discuss about some principles of adult learning, or you can say there are certain things you should know about adult learning, certain characteristics, then you should follow them, right, when adult learning. Or you can consider this adult learning as a farmer oriented learning process. So when you try to teach farmer, so I already said, when you are studying this subject, consider yourself as an agriculture extension officer, and you are going to meet a farmer, or you are going to educate, or you are going to give some information to farmer, then how you should behave and how, what are the things you should check out, right? So first of all, adults learn only if they are motivated, right? Increased motivation more than compensates for decreased physical abilities. First of all, adults, they should be motivated. You should give some motivation. Otherwise, they will not get into your learning process. So if you are announcing that we are going to conduct some field demonstration on the topic of uh, paddy diseases, right? So paddy diseases and their control measures. Farmers will not come or will not attend your meeting. What you should do is you should give some motivation to farmers. So if you attend, say, like, if you can give some motivation, like, we will provide some free material or free control measure, or you can motivate by different things. You can say, like, we will be having some practical demonstration for farmers, or you should do whatever the thing to motivate the farm. Or you can say, this is some we are going to discuss some serious pest that is currently attacking the fields in the particular area, like that. You should motivate the farmers, then only they will be interested, right? So if we are teaching, if for example, if we are teaching in during the practicals or lectures, if I am teaching, when I am teaching, I will say this is some kind important for your examination, like that. You will be get more interest and more motivated to study. Otherwise, you will not much how to say, you will not much get interested on that. You're just watching that part. If I say that this is somewhat important for your examination, like that, you will get more interest on that and you will be studying, right? So likewise, for farmers too, you have to make some motivation, right? Then only they will be attracted and they will be interested on the class and they will attend properly, right? So the attendance. And for example, if in the university we will be saying, right, you should comply with 80% attendance. Then only you will be able to sit in examination. Like that only you will coming to the class properly, right? Otherwise, what you do, you will come for your wish. If you wish, you will come. Otherwise, you will take leave, right? So likewise, you should motivate the farmer, motivate the respondents to attend the meeting and interested or showing some motivation in the meetings, right? That is the first principle, motivation. Secondly, learning should take place in the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. So you should be very careful to providing the things in three types of domains, not only the cognitive one. That means cognitive means the knowledge based. You should give some preference to the learning process as the values and emotions, as well as your psychomotor domain. That means the skill oriented. So you should give equal importance to three types of domains. You know the three types of domains, right? So you should give the importance. Then self-learning should be encouraged with provisions of guidance and resources wherever possible. So usually in the classrooms also, we will be giving some self-learning process. What are those? Usually after the lectures or after practical, we will be giving some homeworks to you, or sometimes we will giving some references. So for references, what you should do, you should selfly, you should search something, you should clear about the topic, like that, right? So you should be giving some self-learning process. Likewise, for the pharma education also, you can give some self-learning. So self-learning means learning by themselves. Only you are giving the guidance and resources wherever. So if you are teaching regarding a crop, you can give some guidance of leaflet guidance, or you can give some planting material. They will be learning from some that one, right? So self-learning should be encouraged to the farmers. They will love to do. Adults usually prefer to have some self-learning rather than learning from some other people. Sometimes we also have that habit, right? Whatever we are learning, we have some self-learning habit that some people have. I should get the notes and I will be studying. Then only they will understand, right? If whatever the teacher is teaching, they will get the material and they will again study the things and search about it, and then only they will be satisfied from the learning process. So likewise, farmers too have similar qualities. They will prefer to have self-learning. Okay, somebody asked for explaining the second point. So second point, already we have studied about the three types of domains, right? So the cognitive, maybe you are late to the class. We started from that one. We have three types of domains, right? Learning process is differentiated with um, three types of domain. That means three type of areas you should include. That is the complete learning process. That is cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. Cognitive means the something that is related to your knowledge part. Knowledge means knowing something, thinking about it, understanding from that. Those are cognitive domain. Affective domain means your attitude. Attitude means the personal perspective of something, a feeling, values, interest, and emotion. So everybody have different kind of attitude. So attitude will differ between person to person. Some people give values to something, but others not. Some people have more emotions, but not others. So it will differ from people to people. So you should include this attitude part in your learning process. But normally, when it is school education, mostly we will be dealing with knowledge, skill most of the time. Final part is psychomotor domain, that is mainly dealing with the skills. Only having the skills, we can't do anything without knowledge and attitude. So the three things are equally incorporated in your learning process. So the skill means everybody have some personal skills, right? Dancing or singing, typing, communicating, speaking talent, language education. Likewise, everybody have different skills. Some people are well in writing, like beautiful handwriting. Some people have um, the kind of talking, like debate talking, like that. Good talking or good speaking, good language skill, good typing, fast typing. Some people are well in communicating with some people, right? Some are good in collecting data. Some people they have the ability to collect some data from other people, right? Talking and like that. That the skills will differ from person to person. Everybody have some skill. You should find out what is your skill. Some people are good in acting, right? Drama, acting, likewise. Everybody have talents. So this is about psychomotor. So the adult learning is supporting that to have these three different types of learning process. That is the second thing they are saying. Learning should be take place in cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. The three types of domains. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you have doubt, whenever you have any questions, please ask me, right? Everything important for your exams, right? So you should only not only knowing the points, you should know what is this, what are they saying about self-learning. So note out the things, right? Those are not available in the slide. So no doubt, what is self-learning? What is the thing like that? Okay. Then adults enter the learning process with sets of knowledge and feeling that influence the learning process. This is another important thing. Adults already they have a set of knowledge. When there is a farmer, already he'll have his school education or university education like that. Some farmers may be bachelors, masters, some are school leavers like that. Already they have knowledge. They are not being zero knowledge. Already they have some set of knowledge, even practical knowledge too, and some feelings they have, right? So already they have. So we have to know that farmer already have the knowledge. We are going to make some additional knowledge. We are not going to create something. We are not going to teach something fully, right? So they enter with some knowledge. So we should respect them, right? So that is important. Adults have experience and can help each other to learn, sharing of information. So in addition to the knowledge already they have, experience also they have, because they are farmers, they are doing the farming activity, they have great experience. Sometimes you may tell about this process is a wrong practice you are doing in your farm. They will not accept. They will say, I am doing this for 6 years or 7 years. I have the good yield. Then how can you say this is a wrong practice? Likewise, they will argue and they will not accept, because they believe their experience rather than our field knowledge, right? So when you are an extension officer, you are giving some information, or you are advising the farmer that don't do this practice, this is a wrong thing. Sometimes they will not accept. They will say, no, this is what I'm doing by time I'm getting good yield. How can you say like that? So from the experience they have, and they will not accept everything, and they are the people can help each other to learn. So helping each other to learn means not only learning from sometimes some people are good in when you are in a university life, some of your friends, they are well in some subject, you are well in some other subjects, so you can help each other. One of you are interested in studying economics, you can teach that one to your colleagues. But some other one are interested in engineering, they can help to sort out the engineering calculation to you. So likewise, adult mostly they will try to help each other to learn, right? Sharing of information. So likewise, so when you are getting some information, so normally you have nowadays the sharing information is very much easy. You have your group, right? You have your WhatsApp group or Viber group, you have different groups. So if you get any information, what you will do, you will just share in your group, share with your friends. So that is the habit of adults. So you will be sharing something, so the other people also can benefit it from that. So help each other to learn and experiencing from that. That is one of the habit of adult learning. Then adults learn in an atmosphere of active involvement and participation. So this is another thing. So if there is any active involvement and participation, so if there is a meeting occurring, the meeting should be very active, and they will be giving participation. So all the time, so if I am teaching you extension education, don't consider the online classes, right? So physically, if there is a practical, I'm teaching you how to prepare poster. These are the evaluation criteria. Likewise, I'm teaching. You will not get active participation or involvement. You are just watching what I am saying. If I say, oh, you need to prepare your poster by yourself, you have to do that, and you are provided with material and you are preparing your posters or leaflet or flashcard, whatever, then only you will be actively involved, right? Then only you will observe, yeah, I need to consider these factors. I need to consider the evaluation criteria and what are the dimensions of posters, like that. You will be actively involved, right? So actively participated in the learning process. Likewise, adult too, they like to participate active involvement. If there is a meeting happening for the adults, you should encourage the adult to participate. Maybe you can give some time for asking some questions, or you can ask some question from them, and if they answer well, or if they are answering, then you can consider, okay, they are just interested. If they are not answering, or they are difficult to answer, or they are not much interested to questioning you or giving some feedback, then you can conclude the learning process is not going in the track. Okay, so active involvement and participation from the adults is important. Then adult learners want to be respected. This is another important thing. You should give proper respect. So whoever the learner, you give respect to them. So whenever you are starting your classes, you should give some greetings to them. Good morning, or whatever the thing. If there is a certain day, you should give some greetings to them. And you should first of all, you should make them comfortable um, environment for studying. You should ask them, you have your breakfast, or you ready to study, or you have any examination. So whenever we are starting the classes, usually I am asking, like, have your breakfast, or you have any examinations today. or anything difficult, right? So first of all, we have to know about the environment of the participants. Then only we can guess whether they will be actively participated or like that. We can decide, right? So sometimes the students will say like, no, today we have limited time, so we didn't have a breakfast or lunch time like that. We have to give some free time for them, right? Or if they are just continuing the previous practical, we have to give some time for them to get a relaxation, right? Because this is a human study place. The humans are the people who are going to benefit from that. We have to understand the feelings of the people, right? And we have to give, right? So we can give some 5 or 10 minutes to get a relaxation, because switching from a previous subject to another subject, and sometimes you may be a continuous 2 hours, 4 hours classes, you should need some rest, right? Your mind, your brain needs some rest, because that is the way of brain. Otherwise, you will not actively participate. You have some physical problems, so you need to go to your washroom, or you need to drink some water, fresh air. You are a big crowd when you are in the lecture hall, so you need to have some fresh air, right? So we have to give some respect to the feeling of the adult, right? That is important. Likewise, to the farmers too, we should give some greetings first, and we should ask uh, some common things. So, do you have any problem? Shall we start the program? Or you have anything like that? So first of all, we should ask. So sometimes they will say, this is not a proper time, or we will start by 5 minutes later. Likewise, you should first respect them and giving them. Sometimes they will ask, I need to leave the meeting before half an hour. Likewise, the adults, right? They have different works at different time. So they will ask. So you should give respect, and yes, okay, you can leave the meeting, or you should talk to them and you should respect them, right, during the extension activity. You can't say like, no, you can't leave the meeting. So usually in the practicals or lectures, we will say like that, right? You can't leave the practical until the end. But in the adult learning, in the farmer training, you should give some time. Otherwise, they will argue with you. They will not respect, right? So you should be adjusted with them. Okay, you can leave, and you should. Otherwise, you should participate actively like that. You should say something. You should first convince the participant and make them to attracted towards what you are going to do, right? Otherwise, if you say, no, I can't leave you like that, farmer, they will not interested. They will just call you on behalf of you, right? That's the farmer, right? So adult learners, they should be respected. Then providing a conducive learning environment, physical and social. So another thing is, conducive environment means the study place should be very much suitable for studying something. So the place should be, there are certain characters. So the place should be very quiet, and the climate, the condition. Sometimes you need, if it is a hotter area, you should have some fans and AC or whatever. You should make first convenience of the environment, right? And then learning environment means not only the external factor, and the if you are going to do some slides or presentation, first of all, you should make sure whether your slides are clear and from the long distance. Sometimes the last row people or the people on the backside, they are unable to read the lines or read the letters. So you should first comfort that one, make some comfort to the people, that whether the learning process is okay, right? Another thing is the person who is going to take the lectures or going to take the meeting, the voice, whether the voice is audible to whole crowd, right? So you should check first. So first of all, the environment should be conducive for the learning process, not only physical but also socially. Sometimes they have any problems, so first of all, you should sort out that one. Then after making some conducive thing, after that you can start the meeting or the learning process, right? Adult education, the means are as important as the ends. So the means how you are going to channeling with the people, in which way. Maybe if it is lectures to farmers, lectures or training process, you can have different type of means. Sometimes slide presentation, sometimes you will write on the blackboards or whiteboards, sometimes it will happen on the field demonstration. So it will differ. So the means of education is also important. This is another thing that adults learn only if it is relevant to them. So if you need to think only, you will learn. That is the habit, right? So if we don't want, we will not get into that. Likewise, when you are doing the extension education farmers, if you are calling the paddy farmers and you are talking something related to another crop or another thing, they will not much interested. Or you should talk the relevant things to them. Otherwise, they will get lost interest in your education process. So, talking about relevant thing is important. You can say something related to what is the topic. So, initially you have announced the topic, right? So, today we are going to discuss regarding the marketing problems in dairy production, like that you will announce, so that you should discuss on the meeting regarding what are the marketing problems, or you can ask something related to that. Otherwise, when you are talking about something unrelevant or irrelevant, not relevant to the topic, they will lose the interest, right? The meeting will be not conducive or not fruitful. So relevant things should be discussed in the meeting, and adults also only attracted towards the relevant things. This is another thing that adults learn best when they are free. So farmers usually interested and usually learn when they are free. You can't fix a time. So when you are fixing a time, like you should come on Saturdays from 8 to 12, like that, sometimes farmer may have some work during that, or that is his field time, right? On that situation, farmer will not learn very effectively. So if you are calling the farmer, like, when you are free, please come to study, like that, farmer will be more motivated and that is best for him, right? Because when having the work, study is difficult. So adults learn best when they are free. Even for you too, when you are free only, you would like to study the things. Otherwise, you will do your works, right? So free times are best for adult learning. So when you are in the free time only, you will make some group classes, like that, right? So that is important. Adults learn best just before using what is learned, that is immediate application. So usually that's why in your study curriculum also you will be having the practical session. But in the school education you don't have like that practical. So if you are studying about um, like the crop, tomato, and what are the varieties, and what is the land preparation, like that you are studying, and immediately after that lectures, you will be taken to your field, right? You will be taken to your field and you will be giving with the tomato seeds to plant. So you can immediately apply the theoretical things or what you learned, right? That is the immediate application. So farmers also love to farm, not only farmers, the adult. We are the people who will not believe the thing unless we are doing the thing. So if anybody teaching something, but when you are doing that one in the real thing or practical thing only, you will get some practical knowledge as well as you can observe some practical problems. We can say anything as a theory, but when we are doing it as a practical only, we will find out the problem. So we will find out this is a field problem. We can say the field problem, that is when we are doing in the field, we are facing some problem. But in the theory, we don't talk about that one. So that is this immediate application. That's why when there is a farmers meeting or farmer discussion, usually they will be having some field demonstration. So field demonstration means after the lectures. Usually the lectures also happening in the field, by using a flip chart or whatever, the lectures happening in the field. And immediately after the lectures, farmers will be allowed to the field to have a demonstration or field practical. So they can go through, if there is a field demonstration regarding some pest and diseases, immediately after that you will be allowed, the farmers will be allowed to the field to collect the pest sample or observing the pest, how it is making the attack on the plants, or what are the control measure, or if it is a engineering, maybe a machinery, like if it is a combined harvester, first of all they will give some knowledge regarding that. After that they will be allowing uh, you to operate the machine or operate the combined harvester. Then only you will learn how it is operating, how it is cutting or harvesting the paddy, how it is collecting the paddy seeds and paddy husk, sawdust, like that. You will learn after the immediate application. So that is important, right? For adult learning, adults will love to have immediate application rather than learning or lectures in the classroom, right? This is another important thing. Even you also agree this point. Adults learn more easily from colleagues than from teachers. You can observe these things usually in the not much in the, even in the school education also there are certain people, but mostly in the university time, right? Most of the people love to have the group classes. Yes, yeah, you are agreeing, right? So mostly people will have the group classes. That means group classes means uh, willing to study from your own colleagues or your classmate or batchmate, because they are the people, same same mentality, and they will explain the theories or they will explain the things very clearly and very how to say, they will explain from your perspective, right? Another thing is, if you have any doubts, sometimes you will hesitate to ask the doubts in the classroom study, right? Because not everybody, many, I know many people have many doubt during the classes, but they are not like to about the teacher. If I ask, he or she maybe scold you. Sometimes there is a shy, right? If I am asking something, the people will think, oh, I don't know anything about it. Sometimes reluctant or laziness, right? Some people, many people have this laziness. No need to ask. Just eliminate that. So there are certain problems during the teacher-student education. So for sorting out those problems, we love to learn from our colleagues, our friends. because they will explain in a manner which is easy for us to study. Usually this happen when immediately before the examination, before night. This is usually happen in the hostels. People will because at the last moment we will feel, oh, we can't study everything. So the next thing is we have to sort out the things and we can study at least important for the examination. Sometimes your friends maybe know, right, which are the important things. So you will seek the help from them and you will study from your classmates. So they will explain in a brief manner. These are the important things. You should make out these things like that. And you can ask any doubts from your friends. So that is more comfortable, right? So that is the learning more easily from colleagues than the teachers. So rather than getting the doubts from the teachers, learning from the classmates or colleagues is very good, and adults more likely to have that one. So likewise, farmers too, they in the extension education too, this is happening. They are much attracted to learn from their colleagues rather than from the moderator or from the teachers. Using variety of teaching or learning methods help in better learning, appealing to different senses. So this is another thing we should so if we are teaching every day by using the slides, it's a kind of boring things to the adult. Every day we are seeing the slides like that. You should incorporate what different teaching aids, teaching materials. If it is a practical regarding some if it is a practical regarding some food items, you should make some food samples to taste by the people, and that will be helpful to understand more. If anything related to machinery, you should present the actual sample and you should make them to practical. If it is a seed, you should make them to planting the seed and getting the knowledge. So likewise, the teaching or the way of teaching or learning process should be different, and making appealing to the different senses means sometimes if it is a lecture that is mostly dealing with your brain and thinking and understanding. If it is something related to a specimen, you know, the live samples, that is the knowledge is going through with your vision, right? Sometimes you can give some recordings, then it is hearing sense. Some practically you should feel, right? That is related to your touching, feeling, you know, the five senses of people. Sometimes it may be related to any food item or anything related to tasting. You should taste the thing and you should feel. Sometimes smell. If it is practical related to any gas, you should feel the gas right from your smell sense. So you should make sure about variety of teaching method for your farmer. Farmer not only like to sit in a classroom or in the lectures and hearing that one. He is much interested in different aids, right? So you should give some sample to the farmers. Please have a look on the sample. Or if it is related to food material, you can give them to taste the food material or smell it, or having some operations. Likewise, you should use different teaching methods. So use of visuals is helpful in better learning. So visual means maybe a slide. So when just not only just talking, if it is a practical, we are using the slides for better understanding, because I am talking about like I'm talking on a topic about the posters, right? I'm talking about posters. But if I have some slides and showing something related to posters or examples of posters, you would be easily understand, right, what is supposed from the slides. So using the visuals is also important. Maybe a slides or real samples, pictures, maps, graphs. You can use as visuals, right? So graphical, from the graph you can show, from the specimens or live samples. Sometimes you can show the visuals as live samples. So if there is a practical related to milking from the cow, you should be practicing with the cow, right? How to milk, different types of milking process like that. You should be with different teaching materials is important. Then about feedback. So what is this feedback? What is this feedback? You have feedback form, right? Yes, the comments, opinion, whatever happening after that. If I am teaching you now, I will ask for a feedback from you. What is that feedback? You should give some comments, opinions, that may be a negative or positive view of you for my lectures or for my practicals. You should say that may be that surely that will be, yeah, preference about that. So that what is the importance of feedback? That will be helpful for making some improvements in the next lectures or next practical. Oh, I can learn that you face some difficulties, like you may say like you are teaching very fast, that is difficult. So I can understand, okay, I'm teaching bit fast, so I need to slow up in the next class. Sometimes you may see that my voice is not clear, so I need to see my technical side clear. You may give different comments and different feedback. So likewise, in the farmer education also, you should give some time for feedback. So if you are giving some lectures, you will give some paper that please write your feedback on this. So farmers will write, right, their feedback. Or you can ask some questions for the feedback, answer questioning feedback. So you can ask, and they will give feedback directly. So feedback is more important for anything, right? From the feedback, you can get some view of the people. You can improve, right? The comments are very much important to improve for the next lectures or the next programs. Likewise, you should get the feedback from farmers, whether you understand the things, what are the problems you have faced, whether my teaching materials are benefited for you, where the program is arranged properly. You know, whenever you have any programs or trainings, at the end of the training, you will be having some papers regarding the feedback session, right? So usually for your courses also in the university, you have the courses. So end of the courses, you will be having some feedback sessions, right? So you should get out some feedback regarding the total cost, whether the course material is okay, practicals conducted, teaching material, your continuous assessment, like that, many criterias, you know, right? So the feedback is important for the effective learning process. Next one is adult perform better in tests dealing with analysis and logical reasoning. So what is this? When we are teaching something, you will normally the adult will ask some logical reasoning, means they will ask what will happen like this. Logical reasoning, you know, sometimes some people will ask, So what will happen like this? Or if we do like this, this will happen. Or they will have some contradiction. So they will not accept the teachers or the lecturer's view. They will have different opinion, right? So usually this has happened. So they will perform better in those situations, the logical reasoning or like that. They will be having some questions. So that is about your adult education, right? So adult learning process, again, this is one of the important thing. Um, yeah. So you should know what are the things important and how you should adult learning process. If they are asking like when there is an adult education process or extension education process is occurring, what are the things you should follow or what are the things you should consider when doing an adult learning? You should know, right? How you should behave. What are the things you should look out for? Likewise, you should consider. So do you have any questions or anything doubts in these points? I try to explain everything as much as possible. So please go through with the slides and let me tell anything you need explanation or need to explain the points once again. Okay, mostly understood. What about others? Now I am taking your feedback, right? Whether you understood or do you have any questions? Please go through with the things. Let me know whether any doubts or sometimes that sometimes the words may be difficult. Another thing you can learning from your colleagues, right? Most of the people they have said yes. So I hope all of you are learning from your colleagues. Okay. Uh, Let me tell anything you have doubt. And about your practical assignments, usually your practical assignment, most of the assignments were occurred during the class hours. So if you are absent for the particular class hour, your assignment marks will be lost. So what I am giving the excuse that I'm giving the excuse like if you need to submit any assignment, like assignment means only the poster, flashcard, leaflet. Only 3 assignments, right? Others you finished. So if you want to submit your assignments, I already informed through your representative. You can submit through my mail ID, right? Because in the LMS you can't submit because already the time slot was finished and class hours assignments work you can't upload. So you can upload through my mail ID. I have given that one to your representative. He will share, right? So when you are submitting, please include your index number and assignment number or assignment title. If you are G1249, you should write in the subject line of your mail G1249 flashcard assignment or G1249 leaflet. Like that, please mention the assignment and your index number in your subject of the mail, right? And then mail me. I will include you, right? For those only absentees people, right? So you need to collect the materials were not provided. You have to do it in your home, right? Do it in your home with your materials what you are having, and you should send. The deadline for sending your assignment is coming Sunday, right? Before Sunday, you should submit whatever. After that, we will not consider because the last week of the semester is the coming week, right? Your semester is ending with from coming week. So you are about to your examination. So consider that one and submit the assignments, because assignments marks are very much important for you. I already explained the importance, right? So this is your last chance. Please submit your assignment. And also assignments are important, right? In the practical examination. So that is about your assignment submission. Anything else you need to ask? Um, So for next, maybe for the next practical coming week, the last practical hours, I will do a small summary or small go through of our whole practicals, right? Some of you were asked about after reading slide. Okay, you can ask the doubts in the practical, or otherwise I will do a summary of the practical. We have done the practical. Some practical we have done physically, and some are online. Sometimes you may have some doubts, right? So please note out the doubts and coming to the next practical hours, right? In the practical hours, we can discuss that one, and we can make a summary of our practical or a revision like that, because already we have finished, right? So next practical may be your last one, so we can discuss about thing for a 10 or 15 minutes. Otherwise your lectures theory part will be happening, right? So that is about the adult learning. And any other doubts, any questions regarding? Shall we wind up? Case, I think the last lectures practical, lecture hour, one of your student was asked to talk to me regarding her examination or something. I gave her my number to call me, but she didn't call. I don't know what's her name. Regarding some examination or whatever, please call me. I don't know the name, or you can contact through your representative, right? I don't know. There is a girl, right? I don't know. Okay. You can contact me if you have any issues, right? Okay. Then we can wind up.